Alright, I think we're up. Hey everybody, welcome aboard. Captain Mike here. Today we're in X-Plane. I did a few runs in MS 2020 the other day. Had a few great daytime flights. But I want to get some nighttime flying in, and I prefer X-Plane 12 for my nighttime rides because I prefer the night lighting. You'll also have the additional 2D screens in the back that I can give you with X-Plane that I can't with 2020. It's just not possible. With that said, let me grab the load data sheet and let's get going. Oh, today's ride we're doing an Aero Mexico flight, Flight 673, from Guatemala City into Mexico City. The night lighting into Mexico should look pretty cool, so we'll see. Hopefully have a good view. They did this ride in just under 2 hours, hour and 59 minutes. So we'll see just how close we can come to that. Alright, let's get going. DC battery selected a bat. DC battery switch is on guarded. Standby power is auto guarded. Alternate flaps are off guarded. Fuel pump switches are off. Wipers are set to park. Hydraulic pumps electric 2 and 1 are off. Landing gears down. We've got 3 green on the landing gear and 3 green on the aft overhead as well. Weather radar is set to test. Master caution reset. Fault inop test. And overheat fire. Alright, ground power is available. Let's get on ground power. Confirm with the AC selector. And let's get set for unconditioned air here right now. And galley power is on. IRS selectors to nav. Emergency exit lights are armed. Just cycle that trim air switch. And let's enter our present position. And we're at MGGT. Oh, and you know what? Let me give you the CDU. Hey DW, how's it going? My body's killing me, DW. I spent Saturday and Sunday with the wife out front setting up the Christmas decorations. The whole front yard is all set up now. And I took Monday off as a break. My body's killing me. It's still bothering me now. I shouldn't be in here, but I gotta go for a ride. Alright, let's see. Now, I wonder, I don't think you're getting the right screen here. See if I can fix that. You should be getting my screen now. You were picking up the first officer's CDU as opposed to mine. So, yeah, the whole yard is done now. I don't have to worry until after the first week of January. So, Thanksgiving is over, although we did have a few of my friends in here to enjoy this for a little while. But I didn't do any filming. Alright, let's put that in. And that looks pretty good. Alright, our flaps are up, showing up and up on the aft overhead. We'll give them position. We'll give him the logo lights. And how's our pressure? We need some brake pressure. Yeah, we're in Guatemala. We're just going to head over to Mexico. I want to take a look at the night lighting coming into Mexico. A lot of lights in Mexico City, so I figured this should be a good test for the setup. Now let me get these brakes set. Alright, so the brake pressure's in the green, and it should take hours to deplete. We'll see how long it takes before it starts to go down. I think the Zibo-Mod depletes quicker than it should. Alright, that should take care of the originator flight. Let's continue with the pre-flight. Leading edge devices test. Surface interphone is off. Reversers are extinguished. EEC switches are unguarded. Crew oxygen is 13,000. Passenger oxygen is normal guarded. Flight recorder test. Mach 1 test and 2. Stall warning 1 and 2. We'll come back to that. It's a little early. 3 green on the landing gear. PSCU is out. Let's check our oxygen flow. Get my fat finger in there. There we go. Hey, C-Stack Music. How's it going? Oh, I'm glad you signed up, man. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, we got a full load going to Mexico City. Just don't drink the water. Alright, let's do our lights test here. Hopefully none are burnt out because I'm maintenance. We are looking pretty good here. Alright, flight controls A and B are unguarded. Alternate flaps are off guarded. Spoilers A and B are unguarded. Yaw damper is on. VHF nav is normal. IRS is normal. FMC is normal. Source selectors auto. Control panel is normal. Fuel temperature is fine. Crossfeed check. Fuel pumps are off. AC/DC panel is set. Equipment, cooling supply, and exhaust is normal. Emergency exit lights are on. No smoke and seatbelt signs on. Let's get the window heat. And let's run the overheat test. TAT test. Wing and engine anti-ice are off. Hydraulic pumps, electric 2 and 1 are off. We have 3 entranceways open. Test, test, test on the flight data recorder. Our pressurization panel is all zeroed out. Alright, temperature back there is fine. Let's reset the master caution. Overheat test. Wing body, air conditioning, and master. Very good. Alright, bleed panel is set. And today's ride is going to be 380. Alright, let's check the outflow valve. Our lights are good, and we're going to use the right igniter for this ride. Alright, let's get ATIS clearance, and then we'll program the flight management computer. France. Oh, France is in the house. It's hard for me to read. What is that? Ibapus? I have no idea how to pronounce that, my friend. Don't mind me. I hear you. Well, when I first told my wife when we were living in Brooklyn that I was going to get a full flight deck once we get to Florida, the garage is mine. She just yesed me because she thought I was out of my mind. Until it showed up one day and I told her you have to put the car out in the driveway. So that was 10 years ago and we're still going strong here, so that's pretty cool. Alright, let's do ATIS clearance and program the flight management computer. ATIS is 12765. And what do we have here? 3464.
QNH 3464. Arriving and departing runways 202. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested.
Wow.
Back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR
I'm gonna spin my fingers off here.
Delivery on 120.7. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo.
What did it say? 3464. I can't even go up that high. Something ain't right there.
Sky conditions. You have 2200 feet. Temperature
Something ain't right there.
UNH3464. Arriving and departing runways 202. Visual approaches in use.
Let me see. Let me check something here.
Altitude.
Where are the charts?
Flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 120.7. Advise on initial contact you have information Kilo. La Aurora Airport, information Kilo. 2100 Zulu. Wind 010 at 28. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, you have 2200 feet. Temperature 21. Dew point 9er. UNH 3464. Arriving.
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting that from.
02. Visual approaches in use.
Let's see if I can get it from here as well.
And if flight following is requested.
That's requested.
All runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 120.7. Advise on initial contact you have information Kilo. La Aurora Airport, information Kilo. 2100 Zulu.
1023. Look at that. You're getting that right. I have 1024 in there. I was off by 1. I was going by the airport elevation information that's in there. Yeah, that is definitely not right. All right. We're going to be using runway 2. All right, that's set up for 1023 as well. Yes, very good. All right. And we have Kilo. Delivery is 120.7.
Advise on initial contact you have information Kilo. La Aurora Airport, information Kilo.
All right, okay, and 120.7.
010 at 28. Visibility 10. Sky conditions.
It depends on what I'm running as far as the electric bill is concerned. If I'm running X-Plane, I'm running additional computers. When I run MS 2020, I'm only running really 2 computers to run the flight deck. But I run 4 computers when I run X-Plane over networking. So I push a little more juice when I'm running X-Plane in 2020. I get better performance out of Microsoft 2020 than I do in X-Plane. All right, that we have. Let's go ahead and let's get this in. Let's get our clearance first, shall we? Aero Mexico 673, radio check. Oh, this cough is persistent.
Aero Mexico 673, La Aurora clearance. Sounds great from here.
Aurora clearance, Mexico 673. Requesting IFR clearance as filed to Mexico City. We have Kilo. Hey, Solar Bumblecat, how are you? Yeah, I'm running X-Plane 12 tonight. My night flights I'll do in X-Plane. I'll do my day flights in 2020. So I'm pretty much set up to be able to run both. Pretty cool.
Information Kilo is current. Cleared to Mexico City via the Cal P3 Alpha departure, then is filed. Departure runway 02. Initial climb altitude 8,000 feet. Departure on 119.3, squawk 1642.
Clear to Mexico City via the Calpa 3 departure, then is filed. Departure is runway 2, initial climb to 8,000, departure on 119.3, squawk 1642 for Aero Mexico 673. Alright, so we're cleared up to 8.
Aero Mexico 673, read that correct.
And squawk 1642. And 121.9, we'll put ground on there. We'll let that run in the background. How about that? All right, that's all good. Let's program the flight management computer. I'm going to need the load data sheet here. Alright, so we got MGGT to MMMX. Alright, and it's AMX 0673. And we have runway 2 on the way out. Departure is going to be, let's have a look here, Cockpit 3A. Cockpit 3A at a runway 2 on the way in. We have, was it in Enga 3A. Enga 3A into runway 5 right, and we're gonna do, how about we do the RNP-Z into 5 right from, I believe it's gonna be Oakton. So let's have a look at that. Alright, you should have both the load data sheet and the CDU there, so you should be able to follow along. If I was online, if I was on VATSIM or something like that, I would be able to, sure. Or if I was in Microsoft, if I was on multiplayer, I would be able to do that as well. Yep. Or if I went on Discord, anybody that was on the Discord channel, I'd be able to chat with, even if they were flying or not. So there's a few different ways that it could be done. But I used to do it Discord, but too many children on there want to play DJs, so I can't be bothered trying to block these people. So they pretty much ruined it for everyone, unfortunately. All right, let's put the rest of our ride in here. I could download this from SimBrief, but then you wouldn't be able to see how it was all put in for those that may be interested. So, all right, we're going to RAB. Right, and then RA 31C, and then Kalpa. From Kalpa, we're going to OMISO. Gabin, GABEN. Kesley. TGC. And that's going to be 1634. It's the one we want. URVOD. Right. MTT. And then we have Duplo. Right. Tax. IP. Oh, TAK. Right. Yep. VR. AX. O. RO. Durib. Oh, where's the I there, B? Alright. Avali. VOKIR. Yamavo. And then we're hitting Inaga. Right, ENAGA 751, 53, 55, 57, 59, and then Almis, and then Ukten, and then from Ukten we're going to be on our way in. So that looks pretty good. Let's have a look at some charts. Let me give you some charts. We have the same thing here. And MGGT, let's take a look at the SID. And what did we have out of? We had Coupler 3. Coupler 3A. Now we don't have to come all the way out to Rabanal, but we will anyway. I'm only going to get one ride in today, so I might as well enjoy it. But you can see here the Coupler 3A from RAB-VOR reaching 9,000, whichever occurs first. Left turn to Rob 264, intercept 552. So, but we're going to follow it the whole way out. So we're basically going to come up north to RAB, make a left over to Coupler. And then that'll complete the SID. And the only thing we have here is Rob is 9,000. Rob, we have 9,000 in the CDU. So on the back end, let's take a look at our arrival. And that was going to be Inaga 3A. And we're coming in from the top. Alright. That's all looking pretty good. Okay, and that starts our arrival into Mexico City. So we need to be at flight level 300, which is in. Next up is 751. We need to be above 270. That's in. Then 755. We need to be a max of 230 or below 18,000. That's in. Then 759. We need to be at 18. Almis is 210, 14 or below. And then we're into Ukten. Ukten is 210 and 12.5. And if we take a look at the approach that we're going to run, which is going to be into 5 right, we're going to run the RNP-Z. We'll get picked up here at Ukten on the upper left-hand side. 210, 12.5, then into Sodus, and then into 901. And we can even put 900's not in there. Oh, 900's in there as well. The 900 and then runway 5, and then the mist is in there. So this is all looking pretty good. So that looks good. Alright, let me give you the load data sheet here for a second. We'll grab some numbers. And let me have the same thing. Alright, now.
Okay, Pushback and start approved. Again, 130 and emergency control button.
Alright, here. Our payload's going to be 39.6. Our zero fuel weight is 134.6. And our fuel is 22.3. Alright. Now, let me give you the load data sheet. Let me give you the electronic flight bag. Hopefully this is going to work. And I'm going to lose the YouTube channel here for just a bit while I get into the load data sheet. I'll be back, so I may miss some of the text going on here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to do this. Let me bring up Air Manager. Bring up the electronic flight bag and get this loaded up. Alright, weight, fuel, and balance, payload. Now the fuel I said was going to be 22.3. And our payload is 39.6. Should give us a zero fuel weight of 134.6 and a CG 28.1. Alright, 134.6, off by 43 pounds. I'm going to go in and fix that. I'll take it from the galleys. I'll take 20 pounds or 20 odd pounds from the front and the back. So that'll match up. But I'm running the latest and greatest from Zibo-Mod and X-Plane and all that, so I haven't gone in great detail to do any of that stuff. Alright, so let me give you, you've got that and that. Let's come back to here now, and we'll put all this stuff in. What am I'm looking for? There we go. Alright, so let's go into our weight. So the zero fuel weight is going to be 134.6. Our final reserve with the alternate is 73.18, so we're going to make that 7.4. Our cost index is 35. And you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to put in 18 for this ride. I want to check something. There's a few rides on the way down. She was a little late. I want to see if that has something to do with the cost index, which I believe it does. We're going to take a look and find out right now. She should be able to compensate based on the cost index that's in there, but she's had a couple of issues the last few runs that I had on the way down, so I wanted to try that. I might as well do it right now. Alright, top of climb. Let's grab our winds here. 180 at 28. And what are we looking at here? We're looking at 5. Alright, that's looking pretty good. We're not going to derate. CG I said was 28.1. This is going to be a flaps 5 takeoff. Now the runway slope here in Guatemala for 2 is up 0.7 with a heading of 016. And the runway winds (02028). Ooh, that's going to be interesting. All right, trim is 475, and our engine now it's going to be a $151. Alright, that's all looking pretty good. Let's get our descent in here now. Let's get... Here's our top of descent. We're looking at 4. And when we get in Mexico, we're looking at 39. So the weather's going to be pretty decent in there. Don't have to worry about any ice. We are at flight level 380. Yeah, we'll put 20, 15,000, and 10,000 on a descent. Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, and we've got 20,000, 167 at 10. At 15, 118 at 7. And at 10, 081 at 5. And that should all look pretty good. Let's have one more quick peek here at the entire run.
Okay, Chris is remaining this frequency, and let me check, because I haven't seen flight plan first. Let me find out.
And the mist.
Thank you.
That's looking pretty good. Alright, let me grab that screen back now. Alright, I have the YouTube screen back now. Alright, let's get into the pedestal now. Let me get rid of... Let me give you the charts, and let me grab the same thing here. Let's go back to Guatemala. And they're using 2. Now I put this in because if I have an issue with the aircraft, and if I have to come back, this is already done for me. So the decision height is 222. Elevation is 4952. And we'll put in 4950. Alright. That's all looking pretty good. 17. 017. 110.1. Alright. So that's good, that's good, that's good. We've got ground 121.9. Tower is going to be 118.1. Departure is going to be Alright, that's all looking good. Alright, I'm going to have terrain, position, data, airport, and station. I'm on the master, you're on the slave. You can have weather, station, airport, data, and position. That's all looking pretty good. And we are looking at 8 degrees. We're cleared up to 8. That's all looking pretty good. Nose wheel steering is normal guarded. And we'll check out the U's. Oh, you know what? Let me give you that. So let me run that check. Alright. And our auto flight system. Yeah, look at the brake pressure. Brake pressure is almost gone. That should take hours to deplete if you're not playing with the brakes. Alright. Alright. And now, primary flight display, the artificial horizon is level, ground speed 045 on the speed tape, V1 is 143, engine out, V2 141, we have a heading of 008, decision height of 222, local pressure of 3022, and we're cleared up to 8. I have terrain on the nav display, Let's get the local pressure put into here, 3022. And that is set. Let's reset the fuel flow. And we'll reset the auto brake. You're not going to need the CDU anymore. Let's get rid of that. And we are good here. Trim is 475. Alright, that's good. Let's check our bottles. Cargo. Okay, and let's run that test. Overheat. That test is done. Let's check our stall warning. And they are good. And we have fuel in the center tank. Let's get the APU up and running. Let's bring up that.
Increase descent. Increase descent. Maintain vertical speed. Maintain vertical speed. Crossing. Maintain. Monitor vertical speed. TCAS test.
And let me have you, and we'll run the long test here.
Flying slow. Oh, up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
In the meantime, nah, we'll wait for the do that one shot, or else I'll lose my YouTube screen again.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps.
I've been pretty fortunate being able to run X-Plane 12 and MS 2020 with this flight deck. Pretty cool. I don't think there are many full decks out there that can do that. It's pretty cool to be able to do it.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40.
That's up.
20.
Now let's confirm. And we'll give that a minute and we'll switch over.
Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Oh, up. Obstacle.
I'll do it all in one shot, and then the tug can wait for us for push. Get them hooked up at the same time. That's all looking pretty good. Alright, let's get on APU. Now let's get disconnected and call for push. And then I can get rid of that screen altogether. Our brake pressure is good. Alright, let's do you, the doors. Let's get those buttoned up. And let's call for push.
Ground the cockpit. Now is driving up.
Alright, we should be good to get on out of here. Well, I can hear the tug pulling up. So this ride is 722 miles in total. So they did this ride in the real world in just under 2 hours.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
I picked a good time to switch over from 2020 to X-Plane for my night rides from daytime. I just finished the daytime just before the weekend started, And I switched the deck over for X-Plane, but we were putting out Christmas decorations over the weekend, so I didn't get any flying in. I heard there was a lot of trouble with trying to connect. So, pretty good timing on my part.
Start connected and bypass being inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, we're ready to get on out of here. La Laura ground, Aero Mexico 673 at gate 8, ready for push and start with Kilo.
Aero Mexico 673, Aurora ground, push and start approved, face south.
Alright, we are good to go. So let me get the clock going. And let's release the brake.
Starting Pushback, and you may start engines.
Alright, packs are off. Duct pressure's good, anti-collision light is on. We're gonna start number 2. Hopefully we have a nice uneventful ride. Oh, those gates look pretty cool. I don't think I've seen too many of those. Alright. Confirm. And close. Auto. Pressure's good. We're starting number 1. Alright, we got a clean board.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Select intro. Stand by.
I'll tell you, the nav displays are getting nicer and nicer with every update that Pickatang has been working on. Really looking great.
Tower is disconnected and bypass beam has been removed. And signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, there goes a tow. And let me have TA auto. Let me give you that display. All right, we're looking pretty good. La lower ground, Aero Mexico 673 at gate 8, looking to taxi to runway 2.
Aero Mexico 673, taxi to runway 2 via Alpha, cross runway 02, then Bravo. Contact tower when ready for departure.
Taxi to runway 2 via Alpha Cross 02, then Bravo. Contact tower. We're ready for departure. Good night. All right, let's put that back. They want us to take Alpha and do... And why would we want to do that? No, that doesn't make any sense. We can come straight down here. We're going to come straight down. We're not going to cross over. There's no reason to cross over. You haven't done a night ride in quite some time. Some flickers going on here, big time.
Approaching 20.
68 November 520, unit 14641.
Frame rates look good. I'm just getting flickers. Especially in the front. Wonder if it changed my settings. Easy there, Louis. You're not flying for Southwest. Wow, what is up with these flickers? Frame rates are locked. Sides look pretty good. When we get down to the end here, have a look. Tower's 118.1. Let's cross over. Maybe V-Sync is off or something. Oh, slow down there, Louis. Might have to lower that a little bit. Might be a bit too much glow. Although these don't look that bad. Yeah, I don't get this flickering. We're gonna have to take a look at the menu option here. See if that's it. That don't make any sense. The two computers that are running the sides are smooth, and they're i9 10900s. The computer in the center is a 7950 X3D. So, I mean, it's more powerful than the ones on the side, yet it seems to be having issues here. Alright, let's set that brake. Let's take a look at this here. That all looks good. Ain't coming from that. Alright, well, I'll have a look afterwards. Hey, Jim, how's it going? The ZHSI, I believe this is the latest one that's out, Jim. I like the nav display, looking pretty good. Laura Tower, Aero Mexico 673, holding short, runway 2, ready for departure. Oh, let me bring this up. Let me swap that out. And I said we had a Kepler 3.
Aero Mexico 673, La Aurora Tower, runway 02, wind 010 at 28, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Aero Mexico 673. My clock going, TARA, let's have a quick peek. Notification is complete, exterior lights as needed, we are good, engine start selected to continuous, auto throttle is armed, transponders TARA, auto parking brake release 40% and we're gone. Alright, Mexico, or Guatemala, we're on our way into Mexico. Lights look pretty cool out there in the distance. Don't like those flickers though. Gotta figure that. Oh, I know what it might be. MS 2020 uses that graphic acceleration stuff. I don't think X-Plane likes it all that much. Alright, we are at 40%. We are stable. Toga. Thrust set. Airspeed's active.
80 knots.
Check. Throttle hold. And we're stable through 80. .23 knot headwind. Oh yeah.
V1. Rotate. Positive brake.
Gear up. And there's the altitude made.
1,000.
All right, go ahead. We're straight out pretty much anyway. Let's see how she handles this. Ooh, look at a little rocking and rolling here. Should have a good view out that window. Going to departure 119.3, Aero Mexico 673. La Aurora departure, Aero Mexico 673, with you climbing through 6,700 for 8,000. Inbound, Rob. Flaps 1. Yeah, we're getting pushed a little bit.
673, La Aurora departure, radar contact, climb flight level 240.
Climb flight level 240, Aero Mexico 673. And flaps are up. That's what they were talking about. So I don't know if he put them online yet. I didn't take a look. But I heard that they're looking amazing, that he really did a lot of work on the colors, Jim. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, we're getting bounced around here. I hope we have a nice view on the way into Mexico because the lighting should look nice. Thanks, Skeletor. Going to Cerama Center on 123.9er, Aero Mexico 673. Good night. 123.9er. Cerama Center, Aero Mexico 673 with you, climbing through 9200 for 24,000.
Aero Mexico 673, Cinema Center identified. Good evening, Guatemala, QNH 1021.
All right, and that's 10. And we're climbing up beautifully. So far from cold and dark to where we are now, it's been a pretty cool run. No issues that I've noticed. And I just switched over from 2020, so this is my very first run. So it's nice if I can go between back and forth and not have any issues. Right now I've been reduced to swapping out 5 cables.
Aero Mexico 673, Cinema Center, climb and maintain flight level 290.
Up to flight level 290, Aero Mexico 673. We're cruising at 380 today.
673, climb flight level 290.
Climb flight level 290, Air Mexico 673. I guess they think I'm asking it a question. Yeah, maybe because I said up to flight level instead of climb. Maybe it got a little confused. So we're inbound Rob, and then we're going to be making a left to Copla. And at Rob, we need to be above 9, which we are. We're at 13.5 now, climbing. And the fuel, we should have 25. We're at 20.8 right now. And she's climbing up beautifully. Pretty nice run so far. And we're inbound Copla. We're going to 264. And that is 30 out. Let's put in 114.9. And we could put in 310 here. And if you take a look at the map, with the frequency that I just put in, and you can see that little gray line showing a heading of 310, you can see my little skipped line here is running right over that, just as it should be. So, pretty cool. Nice departure out of Guatemala. We are climbing up beautifully, and oh, my wife just walked in with my meds. Yeah. Climb and maintain flight level 350, Aero Mexico 673. See if she repeats it back now. No, see, that's what it was, I guess. Need to be a little bit more exact on my terminology there, I guess. Hopefully all these 2D screens that I have back here are working for you. You'll be able to keep an eye on stuff as we go along. And we're going to go to standard pressure. Let's have a quick peek. Autopilot's engaged. Head notification that's complete. Cam pressurization and weight we're going to monitor. And engine bleeds are on. Pack switches to auto. APU is off. Exterior lights as needed. We are good. Auto brake selector is off. Landing gear is up and off. And we are set for standard pressure. So basically we're going to just monitor. Going to monitor the electrical power, the hydraulic systems, cabin temperature, engine status, fuel usage, flight plan progress, pressurization panel, and we're going to plan the arrival into Mexico. That should be in range. And at raw 31 Charlie, we should have 19.6. We're at 20.1 on the fuel. We're looking pretty good. And we are looking at 150 miles, 158 miles top of climb. And we've got 685 to go to Mexico. Oh, thanks, Glenwood. I appreciate that. It looks like they are from here, but it's really hard for me to see. If I unplug this, give you a view. That's basically what I'm looking at, this tiny screen here, to give me what I'm seeing, plus your text down here. So, a little difficult to see, especially when you get a little bit older.
Climb and maintain flight level 380.
Climb and maintain flight level 380, Aero Mexico 673. Alright, so that puts us at cruise. We're cleared all the way up now. So at Kapla, well at RA 31 Charlie, which is the intercept point you see here, we're going to hang a right into Kapla, and that's going to take us basically off the chart out of the SID, out of Guatemala. And the auto flight system performed beautifully for the Zibo-Mod on the way out. Beautiful ride. We have a little ways to go to Mexico City, but I'm hoping that we have a pretty good view on the way in. And I'm using the latest and greatest from Zibo. 0.6, I believe, is his latest, unless he put something out since the last time I checked earlier today. And the departure has been pretty much flawless. Alright, from here we're going 310. And 19.7 on the fuel, right on the money. Beautiful ride. Temperature is fine. Pretty cool view. From my perspective anyway. I know the camera doesn't do it justice. Really not much to see down there. And much of mountainous area. And we got a tailwind this ride. Look at that. It's only 12 knots, but we're not fighting a headwind, which is what I usually end up doing when I run these rides for some reason. It's just the way I end up picking them. It's like 9 times out of 10, I'm fighting a headwind. Hey, Rock and Zone, how's it going, man? I'm doing pretty good, my friend. Night flight, yes. If I'm running a night flight, I'm in X-plane. My day flights I run in MS 2020, and I run my nighttime rides in X-plane because I prefer the night lighting in Laminar's X-plane 12. But I'm also using my own edits, and I'm using reshade as well. So it's not strictly just their default lighting either. I'm a little picky. I'm not sure if the link is down there. I don't know if I put it in there, but my night lighting edits are down there. If not, I'll put them in there once the ride's over. And yeah, no, I didn't do them yet. Yeah, my wife's checking on me. Once I get it cruise, I'll take my meds. My wife brings my medications in, make sure I take them. I forget every now and then. All right, that puts us at the end of the SID here, as you can see on that chart. So let's go ahead and follow along where I am right now. Let's zoom out a little bit here, give you a better view. If I can get that to close, it would be nice. I don't know why that track up and free doesn't want to seem to close. It used to. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. My fat finger's not wanting to work here on the screen. That should be in range and 309. So at Omiso, we should have 18.9 on the fuel. We're at 19.3 right now. We're looking pretty good. And so far, it's been a beautiful ride. Yeah, I want to get a few night rides in here, a few different places, and then we'll pop back over to MS 2020 in a few days. But I tell you, I got lucky, Roken Zone. I did my MS 2020 runs. They were all pretty smooth. And I switched the Flightdeck over before the weekend. And then I couldn't do any flying over Saturday, Sunday because we were putting Christmas decorations up. But a lot of people seem to be having trouble with Microsoft over the weekend. So I think I picked a good time to switch over to X-Plane. Get a few night rides in, and then we'll go back to some daytime runs in 2020. What are we looking at here? We've got 103 miles at top of climb now, 645 to go to MMMX, Mexico City. And we should have 12.5 on the fuel when we get in. So we're looking pretty good right now. And let's see, Aero Mexico did this ride in the real world in just under 2 hours. Hour and 59 minutes. We'll see where we come in with that. We left the gate 26 minutes ago, then we left the runway 15 minutes ago. Let's increase that out. And I will take the weather now, and you can have the terrain. Got anything out there we have to worry about? A little bit of weather off to our right there. Not much. A little bit in front of us. I guess it depends on which direction it's drifting. Alright, the fuel is right on the money. Beautiful run from cold and dark to just about cruise. No, not yet. I'll take them, though. A few more minutes. I have to get to 38,000 feet. Right now, I'm at 34,000. So I have to climb another 4,000 feet, and then I'll take my meds. Checking on me again. She knows I get forgetful, which is not a good thing. If she wasn't here to tell me to take my meds, Lord knows how many I would have missed. Not good. Especially with some of the medication I'm taking. Not good. Could affect my heart rate. It's been pretty smooth. We'll let them run around. Got a nice 21 knot tailwind pushing us along just about, which is unusual for me. I'm usually fighting headwinds. That should be coming into range now. And at Gabon, we should have 18.2 on the fuel. We're at 18.6. So we're looking pretty good. All in all, great ride so far. All right, we're going to be leaving Central American's airspace here in just a little bit. And there is nothing to see out there. It is total darkness. There's a few stars. That's it. But there is nothing coming up from the ground. No lights at all. It is pitch black. All right, we got another 25 miles now, top of climb. And we've got just over 600 to go to Mexico City.
1,000 to go.
Beautifully done. All right, that puts us at cruise. That's 31 minutes from the gate, 20 minutes since we entered the runway. We've got another 454 miles to top of descent, 600 miles to go. And let's lose these center tanks here. All right, we got a little over 1.13 in them. So I'm going to go take my medication. I will be right back. And we are just leaving Central American airspace there. I'll be right back.
Aero Mexico 673, contact Merida Control on 128.3.
Looks like I missed a handoff here. Contact Madeira Control on 128.3, Aero Mexico 673. Good night. Madeira Control, Aero Mexico 673, with you, flight level 380, inbound Kelsley. Oh, I hate taking those meds, they make me cough and hack.
Merida Control identified. Good evening.
All right. What are we looking at? 414 now, top of descent. 560 to go. So we got a little ways to go. And I don't believe we get on that chart at... See if I can remember. Oakton is when we get on there, on the arrival. I believe, yes. Yeah, we still have a ways to go. But we're not going to get on there till Oakton, I believe. Let's have a look. I ran through all this already, but we can go through it again. Inaga, 30,000, 751, above flight level 270, $755, below 230 at 18, that looks good. 759 is next at 18. Almas, below 210 at 14, and then Oakton 210 at 12.5. That all looks pretty good. That's all looking pretty good. Let's put this in now, since this is what we're gonna run. .508 on a decision height. 72.97. $72.50 is in. Right, miss 055 949. And print continue. Alright, that all looks pretty good. And what I can also do, just in case I run into a little bit of trouble here, I can also set this up as well. $55. Just in case. But we don't have to worry until we get to, was it Uxton? Or Inaga? Inaga. Alright, TGZ, we should have 17.3 on the fuel. We're 17.4 right now. 12.8 when we get in. We've got 376 miles top of descent, 523 to go. Medication's going to start breaking up the phlegm now. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Temperature's fine, and we're heading 315. Your VOD is up next. No complaints this ride at all from cold and dark to where we are right now. That's 42 minutes from the gate. Pretty nice ride. And we're doing, we got 512 miles to go. We're doing it about a little over an hour. That'll put us at an hour and 45 minutes. Hour 47. We're a little early right now. We got a 26 knot wind helping us along a little bit, which is surprising because I usually fight headwinds. That should be in range. And let's see, your VOD, we should have 17.1. We're 17.2 on the fuel. So, 12.7 we get in. Pressure's good, temperature is fine. N1, N2, EGT, oil pressure, temperature, quantity, vibration, that's all looking good. It's been a great ride. She's been a little late on the descents though. We'll see what happens there on the back end. See if my wife will come in and bring me something to drink. All right, your VOD. Fuel was right on the money. And we got a pretty long leg coming on here. Could you just fill up my drink? Thank you. That was a cool coincidence. I didn't ring her when I rang the attendant button. She just happened to come in. I needed a refill of my drink. How cool was that? Too funny. Thank you. No, I'll get some. I don't drink in here. I don't eat in here. I go out to do that. I don't want to spill anything. I don't need the grief. Nothing good can come from eating or drinking in here. A little bit of weather up ahead. This is the boring part of the ride. Cruise. Basically, all you're doing is monitoring everything. And we're also planning the arrival, but that's already done. But at night, there's really not much to enjoy. There's no lights out there, especially where we are. We were over the cities, maybe. There's nothing to see out there. Nothing but darkness. Wouldn't want to go down out here. I don't think there's anything down there. Ah, that should be in range. That keep pushing us along. A little bit of a tailwind. It's drifting to a side wind though. Not much help. $460 to go to Mexico. time is it? It's almost 6. Be done by 7. Wonder if I can get another ride in here. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. Yeah, just over an hour to go. Just over an hour to go, which I hope is going to time out dinner just right. My wife's making chicken cutlet and chicken cutlet parmesan with fresh cheese ravioli and mozzarella sticks in a homemade sauce. So I hope I'm on the ground before she comes in here and says dinner's ready. We may go in a holding pattern. I'm surprised Shadow's not up here for the ride. I think that's got to be the second or third time I flew into Mexico. He wasn't up here in the right-hand seat. I don't know. Maybe he drank the water when he was down there. He ain't going back. He has not been in here for those rides. Yeah, pal? Yeah, he's going into his bed. He can't be bothered. Yeah, that's the first class meal, Jim. No doubt about it. Yeah, her sauce and her chicken parm is pretty good. Some fresh deep fried mozzarella sticks. Oh, can't beat those, man. Oh, man. She actually cuts up a block into like these little square strips. And then she makes a egg and flour batter, dips them in the breadcrumb, and then puts them in the refrigerator to let them harden up a little bit. Redips them again in the egg and the flour mix back into the breadcrumb for a second time, and then they go in the freezer until they're frozen. And then she pops those puppies into the deep fryer, and that double dip keeps the cheese from really melting until it gets really hot. The gases expand in there before it blows. But they are so good. One good thing is I'm not going for blood work this week. That's a lot of fried stuff. Got the fried chicken, right? Then you have the fried mozzarella sticks, because you don't cook them in the oven. They don't come out the same in the oven. I don't care what anybody says. They're better deep fried. The oil does something to them. But she doesn't deep fry the ravioli, though. That's just with a regular red sauce. So I guess something could be said for that. Yeah, my wife makes a whole bunch of them. freezes them, puts them in a bag, and leaves them in the freezer, which is pretty cool. Because if she makes a pot of sauce, she'll make up a couple of like individual small cups, put them in the freezer, and I'll just grab a small little thing of sauce, grab a couple of her sticks, throw them in the toaster oven, put the sauce in the microwave, and boom, I got a little snack at 2 o'clock in the morning if I'm in here after doing a breathing treatment. So, pretty cool. She usually comes in here in between making her chicken cutlet parmesan. She leaves a few of them, you know, just deep fried. No sauce, no mozzarella cheese on them, just to pick on. So I'm hoping she's going to be coming in here in a little bit, putting a plate down on the desk behind me. Yeah, I got the best flight attendant, Brian. Ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that's 14. That would be weird. If I hit that again and she comes in here, let's see. If she comes in here again, man. If she comes in here again, I get her to come in front of, at least wave in front of the camera. She doesn't usually like to come in front of the camera, though. Yeah, that was freaky, that last run. Yeah, no HR issues. I just have to worry about the happy wife, happy life issue. No, she didn't come in this time. What are you going to try, Jim? What is that? I can't see that. Taha? I can't even see that. I'm going to try. It looks like it's T-A. I don't know what that is. H-T-A? H-A? H-R-A? I can't even make that out. Oh, the call button. Yeah, I know. I hit it. That would have been really freaky. I'll push it 3 times quick like I'm getting annoyed. If she comes in. I think it was just a coincidence before. Pretty freaky. Pretty freaky. Alright, what do we have coming up at MIT? MIT, we should have 15.9 on the fuel. We're at 15.9. And we're still looking at 12.5 when we get into Mexico. We've got under 400 to go now, 393. With 246 miles to top of descent. All in all, pretty good ride. Our top of descent is what, 626? We're at 558 right now, so we got a half an hour to top of descent. Yeah, hopefully you don't have to bring out that I'm sorry too often. That's why my neighbor asked me. He forgot his wife's anniversary the other day. The guy down the block, Anthony. And he's like, how the hell do you remember your anniversary? I told him, I said, that's easy. I said, I picked the day that we got married. I said, I picked multiples of 7 so I would never forget. 7, 14, 21. It's the 7th month, the 14th day, and then the 21, we got married in the year 2001, so just drop the 2 zeros. So I got 7, 14, 21, so I'll never forget. July 14th. And I'll know how many years, too, so. Here's a little bit of weather off to our right there. Looks like we're going to skirt right past it. It's at about 40 miles out. And that should be 303, Johnny. You're a little behind the times. Louis, get with the program. That should be in view. All in all, this has been a perfect run. Absolutely beautiful run, this ride. I'm looking forward for the arrival into Mexico. The night lighting there should look amazing. Alright, we should be getting a call to swap frequencies again here. Looks like we're getting ready to change airspace. And that's an hour since we left the gate. 49 minutes since we left the runway. And we've got 373 miles to go. 225 to top of descent. No complaints this ride at all. A little over 200 miles, and we should be on the arrival chart. Yeah, we're going to skirt that little bit of weather right there. Anything developing in front of us? Looks like we're going to go right around it. That should be in range. Oh, 2. All right, at Duplo, we should have 15.3 on the fuel. We're at 15.5 right now. And we're looking at 12.4 when we get into Mexico. We're under an hour to go now. In the real world, they did this ride in an hour and 59 minutes. Right now, we're at an hour and 3. So, see just how close we come to in the real world. Well, you know what? I could get rid of that screen for you. I don't think you need that CDU screen anymore. We can lose that. I'll take my charts though. So we should have the Anaga 3A arrival into Mexico City with the RNP-Z into runway 5 right. 2, and fuel is right on the money. Right on the money, and we're under 200 miles top of descent now.
Aero Mexico 673, Merida Control, contact Mexico Control on 124.0.
Contact Mexico Control on 124.0, Aero Mexico 673. Good night. All right, 124 flight. Yeah, we just crossed over too. Look at that. Mexico Control, good evening. Aero Mexico 673 with you at flight level 380, inbound IPTAC.
Aero Mexico 673, Mexico Control identified. Good evening.
Alrighty. Pretty good run. Oh, she should have been here a little while ago, though. Alright, yeah, I'll take those now. Second set of meds. I got to give the first batch a little bit of time, make sure they're not going to make me get sick. Don't want to waste these meds. Yeah, I'll get them. I'll get them. What are we looking at here? 183 miles top of descent. Alright, yeah, let me go take my second batch of meds. And I will be right back. Yeah, I got to stretch my leg a little bit too. It's been bugging me. But all in all, we're having a pretty good ride. We've got 180 miles now, top of descent, 327 to go. So, I'll be right back. Which one's that? All right. Up next, dinner. And then one more set of pills with dinner. Then I'm done for the day. All right, IPTAC 14.8, 14.8. Looking pretty good. Zibo-Mod has performed beautifully. Nothing but darkness out there. Man, no city lights, nothing. Oh, I should have grabbed my old man glasses when I was out there. All right, that's an hour since we entered the runway in Guatemala. And what are we looking at? Under 300 miles to go to Mexico now. 297 miles to Mexico. And top of descent is in 150 miles. Which is in about 19 minutes. We'll be heading down. That's definitely in range. And at there we're looking at 14.5 on the fuel. We're at 14.7. We're looking good. And the temperature is mighty fine. What we can do, let's have a quick look. Let me give you that for a second there. If I get my fat finger in there. And let's request the weather. All right, 360 at 9, 8 statute miles of visibility, scattered at 22, 30, 34, no segments, okay. And we have some visibility. But I don't need that anymore. Oh, hey, Brian. I go on FlightAware is where I'll grab the rides. 331. I'll try and find rides that have been done with the 737-800, the same one that I'm running, that actually just finished or just departed for the most part. Usually like to catch them just as they're done. This way I can see the entire ride and then see if I can mimic it just the way they did from gate to gate, and see how close I come to their time frame. We're only a half an hour from either West Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale Airport. So when my wife goes to see her family up in New Jersey, if she's flying into Trenton or into Atlantic City, depending on whether time of year it is, if they're open or not, I'm able to get back home and have the flight deck ready to go before she even leaves the airport. And she'll text me, all right, we're backing out of the gate right now, and then I'll start backing out of the gate and run the flight just as she's running it. So, and it's amazing because the flight deck is actually pretty similar. I'm within just a few minutes of gate to gate on every one of the rides that she has done. I've not been off by more than 3 minutes, either ahead or behind schedule. So that's pretty cool. But FlightAware is where I grab them from, all the data. And then I go into SimBrief and I set up the load data sheet that you see on the right hand side there. This sheet here comes from, if I can bring that up. There's the load data sheet. Trying to figure out why it wouldn't pop up. That's what gets generated through SimBrief, where I get all my data for the flight. And it's pretty cool the way the computers are set up with the OBS, because I can give you all these 2D screens. I can't give you all these screens in MS 2020 though, it's just not possible. But I can give it to you when I'm running X-Plane, because the glass screens that you see on the left hand side and the MCP, I can pull those from Air Manager, and they're just not available in 2020 with the PMDG aircraft. It would be nice if they were, but that's just not possible. Alright, let me give you Navigraph back. And let me take my chart back as well. Yeah, I usually try to stay within, I try to do an hour and a half. Wow, too much caffeine for this guy. I expect the Nagata 3 arrival for the ILSY runway 5 right into Mexico via the Yucatan. And we'll plan for the descent in about 20 minutes. Aero Mexico 673. Guy sounds real excited. Wasn't expecting that. That was pretty wicked. Try to keep the flights about an hour and a half, 2 hours maximum, because when you get up at cruise, it kind of gets boring after a while. That's why I don't want a 777 or a 787. I don't want to spend 8, 10, 12 hours at cruise. I figure a half hour to get from up to cruise, a half hour at cruise, a half hour down is pretty cool. Hour and a half, another half hour planning the flight. So you're looking at 2 hours per ride. 2.5 hours per ride if I do a 2-hour run, which is what I'm doing now, 2 hours. Once in a while I'll run a long flight just to do like an endurance test, just to make sure I'm not having any issues with the hardware, software working with one another. That's pretty much it. But I like to stay about an hour and a half on the rides, because it gives you enough time to just relax before you have to plan the arrival on the back end. And you're not up there long enough to get bored. So, what are we looking at now? All right, we're under 100 miles now to top of descent. We've got 95 miles top of descent. And we've got 240 miles to go to Mexico. And you figure another 39 minutes. 38 minutes we'll be on the ground. So we're pretty close. We might be a couple of minutes early, that's it. Alright, we're coming up on Durbid. Durbid, we should have 13.9 on the fuel. We're at 14 right now. 12.2 when we get in. And we are looking pretty good. Another great ride from the Zibo-Mod and X-Plane 12. Yeah, Jim, you know, even with all the adjustments that are in here, I mean, it is comfortable, but my body's just too old to stay in one place too long. And the restless leg syndrome doesn't help either, you know. I've had multiple shots in my back because they can't do surgery because the problem's up high in the back. And all the nerve endings or whatever are too close together, so they really can't do anything other than give me a block. until it wears off. So, kind of stinks. What are we looking at here? 31. Right on the money. 13.9. About maybe 80 odd miles will be on our arrival charts. And that's an hour and 20 minutes from the gate. 2:27 to go. I think we just got a weather update. That's in range. All right, Avali is up next. We're 10 miles out. Should have 13.7 on the fuel. We're at 13.8. Still holding above 12 when we get into Mexico, so I don't think fuel's going to be a problem unless I can't put it down. Top of descent in another 72 miles. And from cold and dark to where we are now, it's been a great run. Nothing to see just yet. Hopefully we'll have a nice view on the way down. A couple of stars out in the distance, but that's it. There's nothing to see. Closer I get to Mexico, the better off I'm going to be, because she's making a pretty good dinner tonight. I don't want her to come in and say it's ready too soon. I'd rather be done with this flight sitting there at the table with the knife and fork in my hand waiting for dinner. Get into that just as soon as it put down, nice piping hot. All right. Fuel is right on the money. 2:10 to go to Mexico. And from here we're going to 251. And at Volker 13.6. Beautiful. Pressure's fine, temperature's good. Our N1, N2, oil pressure, temperature, quantity, vibrations. It's all been a great run. And we got a right turn coming up here, and inbound Uvmavo. So we're just about maybe 60, 70 miles outside of the arrival chart into Mexico City. Oh, we got some city lights out there in the distance. Look rather nice. Camera might not be picking them up, maybe. Pretty dimly lit down there on the left. Nice view. And we've got 50 miles now, top of descent. With under 200 to go, 197. Give them a few more minutes before we lock them down in their seats. Now let's have a quick peek at this weather here. Looks like we're going to skirt quite a bit of it. Alright, I will take the terrain now, and you can have the weather. Hey Jackson, how's it going? Welcome. You just caught us midway. Well, we're just getting ready to start our descent another 40 miles into Mexico City. Left Guatemala. Oh, I just lost my monitor down there. Oh, it's back. Interesting. Interesting. And that is hooked up to the main screen. I may have to reinstall Java. The last time my screens were flickering, I was getting it from the glass screens coming from ZHSI, and that was the reinstall of Java seemed to get rid of that issue. These screens haven't blacked out in quite some time, so I may have to reinstall Java on this computer now. Cool, where you off to? What's your destination tonight? That should be in range, and we're looking at 251. That is good. Give them another minute or two, and then we'll get them in their seats. And then we'll see how the Zibo-Mod handles this descent. I've had a couple of them where she felt a little bit behind. Oh, Heathrow, okay, yeah. No Innsbruck? Or did you leave Innsbruck for Heathrow? We have a few city lights down there we can make out. Up close to the aircraft, though. And they're beginning to fade out. Oh, Heathrow to Sydney. Ooh. Now, SayIntentions gets a little wonky here on the back end. So what I do is I follow the charts on the way down. I use SayIntentions for just about most of the ride. It's pretty cool, but it does get a little mixed up here and there. So I prefer to stay with the charts. So that's what I follow on the way down. And what are we looking at? Just about 20 miles top of descent. Let's get them back in their seats. Let's have a look at that arrival here. Noga 3. And we need to be above flight level 190, correct? Oh, I'm sorry, 30,000. So, and that should be coming into range, and 250. Yeah, that's a hike. And then some. I probably do all that riding in about 2 weeks. in multiple flights. Let's see, about 30 odd miles we should be on the chart here in the upper right hand side. You should see us pop in there. And that's an hour and a half from the gate. An hour and 19 minutes from the runway. We've got 10 miles top of descent, 156 miles to go. So we're doing in 28 minutes, 27 minutes. And that puts us at 158, a minute early from what they've done in the real world right now. And once again, we're dealing with a headwind of 29 knots. There you go. Stretch out, man, and chill. All right, at Umavo, we should have 12.8 on the fuel. We're at 12.9, and we're still holding 12 when we get into Mexico. Like I said, unless I can't put it down. 150 miles to go this ride, and just over 3 miles of top of descent. It has been a beautiful run, and I think I'm going to get done with this ride before dinner's ready, which means I will be sitting at the table with my knife and fork in my hand, like a little kid, waiting for dinner. All right, Umavu. Here we go. We're on our way down. Hour and 32 minutes from the gate. Tonight, Jackson, I'm having chicken cutlet parmesan. I'm having fresh ravioli and fresh mozzarella sticks. So the wife is doing some serious cooking. Only because of my breathing, my wife actually has to make the chicken on the barbecue grill on one of the burners, because I can't take the whatever the gases get released, that a smell from the cooking in the kitchen. So she has to cook outside, unfortunately. But that's definitely going to go down good. All right, so within the next 17 miles, we should be on that chart in the upper right-hand side, up by Anaga. And we've got 138 miles to go. And they want us at 30,000 there, and then above 27 is up next. Let's make sure she can handle that restriction without blowing past it. A little bit of weather, but it looks like we're going to skirt right in between it. There you go. You have leftovers. If there are any. Although my wife usually makes a whole bunch of extra chicken. Doesn't put sauce or cheese on them, just leaves them in like a Ziploc bag and leaves them in the fridge. She'll turn it into a chicken salad. I'll just grab a piece, throw it in the toaster oven, heat it up, just grab a little bit of her sauce, and then just dip the chicken in the sauce and eat it like an animal with my hands. All right, under 10 miles, we should be on that chart.
Into Mexico via UK QNH 1030.
1030, he said. 1030. Aero Mexico 673. Descend via the Anaga 3 for the ILSY runway 5 right approach into Mexico. QNH 1030. There we go. We're just popping up on that chart right now. And we need to be at 30,000 at Naga. We're at 30,800 descending. So right on the money. Beautiful ride. We've got 124 miles to go. Coming down beautifully. All in all, great ride. And we are now inbound 751, which is 55. We do have some city lights out in the distance down in the front there. And from this altitude, that's pretty good. So here we are, 30,000, right? Passing over Naga. Let's see if she continues on her descent before we hit our next waypoint. She should continue on down. Although I did change my course index this ride, I just wanted to see something. With a CI of 35, she seems to be a little bit late on the way down. I want to see how she handles this. So we got about 25 minutes to go. A little under that. I'm hoping we have a nice view out the window of the night lighting. Right now we must be in a little bit of a mix of clouds because those night lights have disappeared in front. Can see a little bit on the left here. Not much. We must be playing peekaboo in the clouds. And what do we have? Speed restriction wise, not until 755, right? A max of 230. And that's all looking pretty good. And I set those just in case. That's set. That's set. That is set. And the decision height is set. Let's get you set. And that should be in view. 54. And now at this decision point, she should continue down now. Yep, just waiting to intercept it now. Beautifully done so far. All right, we need to be above 27,000 at 751, which I'm sure we're going to be. And then we're good down to 18. And then 18, we're going to hold until we're inbound Almas. We got some lights popping up down there in the front and left screen. Beautiful. Beautiful. Even have some airport lighting down there we can see in the distance. That may be our, that might be our airport right there. Oh yeah. Yeah, we should have a decent view on the way in. Uh-oh. Oh, you just putting chicken in the freezer? I thought you were coming in here with a couple of cooked pieces. Oh, I think we're going to have a decent view of the lights here. All right, 7:51, 12.5 on the fuel. We're 12.5. We are coming down. Oh, we're actually holding right now. And we're coming down. And she's coming down now a little bit. Temperature's looking pretty good. And we're going 260. $88 miles to go now. That's an hour and a half from the runway. Hour and 41 minutes from the gate. And they did this ride in an hour and 59 minutes in the real world. See just how close we can come. All right, Jackson, man. We'll catch you later, brother. Have a good flight. All right, and we're going to be slowing at 230. $270. 12.4, 12.4. Fuel's right on the money. 80 miles to go. We'll have plenty left over as long as I can put her down. That's funny, Jackson. Oh yeah, we should have a good view. That should be coming into range now. Gonna ask me for some speed brake here yet. Off by about 900 feet, 1,000 feet. See if she's gonna make this up or if she's gonna ask me for some speed brake. $18, $14. And then 12.5, 210. City lights look nice out that left window. Got some aircraft out in the distance. You can see their lights. Pretty cool view. Don't know if the camera's picking it up though, but rather nice here. She's making it up now. With no intervention. Pretty good. And we'll go to local pressure. 252 is next. And speed's coming down. Speed's coming down. Let me give you a little speed break there. You're a little quick. A little quick on the speed here. Drag required. Yeah, I'm way ahead of you, pal. Two 5.2, 12.4, 12.4 on the fuel. Right on the money. Little late there. Little late on that one. So we'll hold 18 now for a bit. Then we're down to 14, 12, 5. All in all, though, not a bad ride. But it seems the descent's off just a little bit. And the cost index doesn't seem to have anything to do with it. I thought it might have been my course index of 35, and I know that Zibo likes to use 18, I believe, so we tried 18 this run. Doesn't seem to make a difference. It's still off a little bit. 222. What are we holding at? What did I say? We're holding at 12.5 at Ypres. 18 at 230. Nice. I don't know if the camera's picking up any of those lights, but looks pretty cool. Might be a little dim. They're peeking in between the clouds a little bit here. Out in the distance, though, you can see, maybe, hopefully. Should have a good view, though, when we turn back in.
Aero Mexico 673, proceed direct MX 962. Descend and maintain altitude 8,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 5 right approach. Speed greater than 160 knots until established.
Sounds like he's special ed there. Descend and maintain altitude 8,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 5 right approach. Speed greater than 160 knots until established for Aero Mexico 673. And we're going to follow the charts in. Hopefully the lighting is going to start popping in up here on the left-hand side from the city. Looks pretty cool in here. Camera may not be picking it up though. Alright, we're going to continue our descent now. All in all, it's been a great ride. She's off a little bit on the descent, but that's it. And that's an hour and 50 minutes from the gate. We've got 37 miles left to go. So I've got 9 minutes left to get in to be on time. All right, Almus, we need to be below 210 knots, 14, right? All right. All right, I think we got some city lights popping in here finally. Would be nice if they rolled in from the horizon instead of popping in a group of lights like that, though. It should be a buck 18. Almus, 14 below 210. Yeah, city lights are starting to pick up now. Beautiful. Should have a nice view. All right, Almus, 14-210. We're at 15-1 descending. Let's see if she's going to make this speed restriction of 210. I can't do it. Can't force her to start slowing down here. How about we do that? Let's slow down. Give me 210. Alright, you want drag? We'll give you some drag, baby. What are we holding at? We're holding at 12.5. And we are going to buck 40. And give me flaps 1. Let's start slowing down. What are we coming in at? Buck 49. 149. Alright, we're inbound Oakton. And we're already below 210. We need to be above 12.5. We're at 13.9.
Contact Mexico approach on 119.75.
Contact Mexico approach on 119.75. Aero Mexico 673. Good night. Mexico approach, Aero Mexico 673. Inbound Oakton, expecting runway 5 right. Alright, let's move over to the other chart now.
Aero Mexico 673, Mexico approach identified. Good evening, expect the ILSY runway 5 right approach into Mexico via Yucatan, QNH 1027.
I expect the ILSY runway 5 right approach into Mexico via Yucatan, QNH 1027, Aero Mexico 673. So this is 187. And we're inbound Suras. And we're holding at 12.5. The outbound is 235. Give me flaps 5. Let's slow down and get the nose down. Give you a good view out the front window here. Yeah. Give me 10, Johnny. Give me 10. Yeah. Give me the gear. Slow us down, Johnny. We're up on that chart now. I think you should have us there. A little bit of flicker going on in the front. Got to take a look at that. The sides look good. It's got to be a setting in here somewhere. Should have a pretty good view out the window now. And give me 15 on the flaps. Let's slow all the way up and enjoy the ride. That's an hour and 56 from the gate. Just flipped. Coming up on 10. Let them know. And we're going to go right to 30 on the flaps. And we've got landing lights, engine start selectors, auto brake, speed brake, landing gear, flaps, and they have been notified.
2500.
All in all, pretty good ride. And we're looking at 235 and 090. Little bit of flicker going on the right side there as well. And we've got the airport and the runways.
Aero Mexico 673, contact Mexico Tower 118.55.
Contact Mexico Tower 118.55, Aero Mexico 673. Good night. Mexico Tower, Aero Mexico 673 with you. 7 mile final, runway 5 right. And you're going back to 12.5 and 090. My bird. Clear to land, Aero Mexico 673. Should have a pretty good view out the window now, I hope. .13-knot headwind. Beautiful view. Beautiful view. The winds are pushing a little bit. Winds are pushing some.
Approaching 5 right. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue.
100.
Prepare for landing.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Welcome to Mexico City. lot of stutters going on there.
5,000 feet remaining.
We're not making that turn off, Louis. I hope you enjoyed that ride. I had a blast. That was pretty cool. Oh, I missed that turn off. Oops.
3,000
That's on me.
remaining.
Oopsie. Yeah, look at these flickers. Don't like these flickers. Let's stop here for a second. Alright, that's all good. You can go to TA, you can go to test. I thought you were bringing me something. Let's have a quick peek here. Exterior lights as needed. We are good. APU, yeah, we're starting that right now. Your dampers off, window heat switches are off, probe heat switches are off, engine wing and the ice are off, and the start selectors as needed. They are off. Auto brake is off. Speed brake is down. Flaps are up. Transponders TA auto with a radar to test. Alright. And what do we have on the back end? We have gate. And let's go to ground here. Ground is 1, 2. Here comes that cough. We'll be a couple of minutes late. Mexico ground, Aero Mexico 673 at intersection Bravo. Looking to go to gate Paul. Hope you enjoyed that ride. I had a blast.
Aero Mexico 673, Mexico ground. Taxi to Park 187 at your discretion. Have a good day.
All right, we are good to go at my discretion. Oh, you can stay there. I want you guys off, Johnny. All right, so we're good to taxi in. That was a rather nice ride. Let's cross here. Beautiful run. I don't think I'm going to get another run in tonight, but if I do, it's going to be another night ride in X-Plane before we go back to MS 2020. I think. Oh. What are you doing, Louis? And for those of you that may not like that night lighting effect, that's on me. That's my night lighting edits along with reshade. So that's not on Laminar if you don't like those. That's on me.
Heading 320.
Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that ride. For those that were with me here today, I always enjoy the company and the conversation along the way. For those of you that did a little bit of typing, I appreciate that. And we're coming all the way down. Be nice if I can get another run in tonight, but I don't think so. Maybe tomorrow. Get another night flight in here. Maybe we'll leave Mexico for the States somewhere. Something about an hour and a half, 2-hour ride.
Unrestricted climb to flight level 320, United 1097.
I'm getting some flickers there, but the frame rate is holding steady. Interesting. I get much smoother performance in MS 2020 than I do in X-Plane. The X-Plane is a resource hog and then some. Big time. Big time. Yeah, look at that. Frame rates are holding rock solid. And then the front doesn't stutter. Go figure. Wow, it's really dark over here. I think I may have to lighten up some stuff. This is a bit dark. I think the truck here wants to play chicken. Get out of the way, Louie. And we can kill number 2. And he is real. Doesn't give you much leeway. Left or right, this guy. The marshal. Anti-collision and let him run around. Hey, 737 Project, how's it going? You just caught me coming into Mexico. Had a great ride. X-Plane and, whoa. Are we rolling here? Where are my brakes? There, Louie. What's up with that? Let me set these chocks here before I do anything else. Get set up with ground power and whatnot. Oh, and we're rolling again. Look at this. What are you doing? The pressure is fine. Where are we going? That's weird. And we're already shut down, so we're not going here. Ground services. Put the chocks in there. That's weird. That's got to be looked at as far as the parking brake is set. That's very strange. Should not do that. Doors. All right, let's get those set up. And we the chocks are in position. Don't need the brakes. They don't seem to be working anyway. All right, ground power is available. Let's get on ground power. Confirm. We'll get set for unconditioned air. And we don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. You. And you're on standby. And let's have a peek. Electrical power APU or ground. We're on ground power. Bleed air panel. We're set for unconditioned air. Yes. And APU bleed is off. Left and right packs are set to auto. Isolation valve is open. That is good. Fuel levers are set to cutoff. Anti-collision light is off. Passenger signs are off. Fuel pump switches are off. Electrical panel check set. Galley power is off. Window heat switches are off. Hydraulic pumps electric 2 and 1 are off. Exterior lights, we have logo in position. Flight director switches are off. Chocks in position, the parking brake is off. Alright, let's shut down completely now. IRS select is to off. Emergency exit lights are off. Exterior lights are off. Bleed air panel check set. You're going to come off. You're going back to you. You are set. That's right, actually. Engine start select is to both. AP or ground power disconnect. AC/DC select is to standby. And battery switch to off. Alright, everybody. Let me get my YouTube channel back here. Get rid of the electronic flight bag. We can kill that light. Don't need that. Yeah, you can pick my brain. What's up, man? What do you need? Me? Do a Joe Biden impression? Where am I? What is this? Where can I get drivers for a Revolution Sim throttle quad? That I don't know. The throttle quad I'm using is a Jetmax from Flightdeck Solutions. So, and I don't believe I know anyone that's using a Revolution Sim throttle quad. Unfortunately, I can ask around, and if I do get an answer, I'll pop it up here for you on today's ride. All right. Sorry, I don't have the answer for you. And for everybody that joined me this ride, there's a whole bunch of people this run. I hope you enjoyed the view. I always enjoyed the conversation and the company along the way. So I hope you enjoyed everything. And I'll catch you on my next run. More than likely, it's going to be another X-Plane ride at night. I did a few MS 2020 runs in the daytime a couple of days ago. So I'm going to get a couple of night rides in, and then we'll be back to MS 2020. All right, everybody. I'll catch you on my next ride. Take care.